Thank you very much, Nina. Well, first of all, congratulations to Amanda, Sine, Edith, Sophie, and Emma. That was just a fantastic presentation. It's made me so happy to know that there are students who feel so passionately and who've done so well to integrate so many different perspectives on a really important challenge. While I was listening to your presentation, I decided I was going to write down all the different disciplines that you mentioned, which are relevant to your project. So here's the things I wrote down: anthropology, sociology, psychology, epidemiology, health policy, pharmacology, health systems analysis, political science, critical public health, economics, but also philosophy, music, art, video making. Let's not forget that the arts and humanities are as important as the sciences in this huge task of getting people to care about the SDGs and about social justice in healthcare more generally. So now let me just speak briefly to Eivind, Kristen, and the rest of you at the University of Oslo. You have set up a new centre, and I am reminded of a gentleman called Wilhelm von Humboldt, who set up a university in Berlin in 1809. It was then called the University of Berlin. And when he was trying to find funding for his university, people asked him, why do you need to set this thing up? It's called a university. What are you going to teach? Why do we need it? And he said, I'm going to teach 4 things. By the time my students have done their course in the university, they will be able to think constructively, argue coherently, judge dispassionately, and solve problems creatively. And those, I think, are the traditional academic skills, which are very, very evident and visible in your students. But also, I set up a course 20 years ago, and I thought those are not enough anymore. We also need some contemporary academic skills. And I've written about these. And the 4 new academic skills that we must add to Humboldt's traditional skills are these. Firstly, knowledge management, the ability to find the knowledge that you need in this ocean of vast information and evidence in the 21st century. Secondly, the ability to work in groups, that the lone academic is history. We have to work together. And I think your students demonstrated so well that they can do this and they enjoy doing this and they get more out of the group work than just an individual project. Thirdly, and again, your students demonstrated this really well, is the ability to communicate and knowing that they must communicate to people beyond their own disciplinary basis. And finally, lifelong learning. We are all students for the rest of our professional lives. So we need to develop in our students the ability to identify their ongoing learning needs in a changing world. So I hope that commentary was helpful to you. I'm even more excited than I was previously that I'm going to be working with you all at this centre. Yeah, I've had a really good time watching. So now I can sit back and watch the other commentators.
Thank you so much, Trish. Ole Petter, from what you have heard, what do you think? Are we on the right track?
You are certainly on the right track, and I think I made that very clear in my introduction that you are certainly on the right track. You are doing what all universities should do, and that is to focus not only on the present day situation, but on the future, how the healthcare system will develop, on how health will develop in the years to come. So this is a fantastic initiative. I must say that with due respect to those of you who have initiated this project, as leaders today, I think we should really emphasize how important it is to listen to the leaders of tomorrow. the students have a very, very important role to play in this. And I must say that the presentations from the students, they really made my day, as it were. What we experienced last year at KI, I told you about the conference that we had with more than 500 students from many different universities, also from universities beyond Sweden and the Nordic countries, is that the students are very much focused on the future. They really, in many ways, assimilate the dimension that is missing very often in the universities, and that is the time dimension of the future. We have to take care as leaders in the university. We have to take care because all of a sudden the students are ahead of us when it comes to pondering the future and how to deal with the global challenges. And I think we saw today that this is an imminent danger, if you understand. It's not a danger, but it could be a situation in the very near future that the students are ahead of us as university leaders when it comes to grasping and understanding the challenges of the future. We must not let this happen. It's our responsibility as university leaders to really capture the energy, the visions of the students, so that we can develop as universities in the right direction. Wilhelm von Humboldt, that Trisha mentioned is of course a founding father of the modern university. In fact, Karolinska Institute was established almost at the same time as Humboldt University in Berlin. But there is another founding father of the university that we should pay attention to, and that is John Henry Newman, the idea of a university. He spent most of his life in the 19th century to ponder what is a university all about. And in fact, we have forgotten very much of what he came up with as ideas of a university. What he said that one of the most important roles of a university is that minds should collide with minds. That's a quote from his major book on this issue. And minds collide with minds, that can be interpreted in different ways, but what he really meant, if I understand him correctly, is that one should see to it that the university is a place where we have a sort of symmetrical exchange of ideas between generations, between students and teachers. And if there is anything I think we should carry with us from John Henry Newman, that is that in centers like this, as in education in general, we should respect and encourage the voices of the students, because that is really what drives us to a better understanding of the future. Thank you.